Attention A1 Trading Show fans. If you're looking to get funded, we've got a solution for you. Our partnered prop firm FX2 Funding helps traders get access to up to $200,000 in trading capital. FX2 Funding is not your average prop firm. We've chosen them as our partner because of their fair examination rules, their professional and available customer service, and they have an outstanding reputation in the prop firm space. Here's a quick look at their evaluation process. First, they don't have a time limit on their evaluations. That means that you can take your time when passing your evaluation. There's no pressure to rush your trading. Second, there is only one phase to pass in their evaluation before getting access to your funded account. Also, their evaluation fees are fairly priced and fully refundable upon passing. Once you're funded, you'll be able to keep up to 85% of your trading profits. Finally, a rule we know swing traders will love: you can hold your positions over the weekend. For a limited time, get 15% off any of their account challenges with promo code A1Trading15. That's 15% off any account challenge with code A1Trading15. If you're ready to get funded, we're dropping a link in the chat right now, and you can also find it in the description down below. So go ahead and get signed up today for 15% off with promo code A1Trading15. Now, back to the show.
What a day, what a day, what a day. Welcome back, everybody, to another live stream. It is, of course, NFP day, and I already see you guys stirring up the drama. It's like turning the tea in the chat here. We have some people already pointing out that my forex funds has got some problems on their hands. I'm way ahead of you guys. Well, not actually, because you clearly have seen or heard a little bit about it. Prop firm space, a little bit of drama coming into the space, and I've got a video filmed. It's coming. We've got, of course, the editors. They have it in the lab. Chandler's got it in the lab. So it is coming. Don't worry. I've got my take. It's all alleged. Nobody knows everything, but prop firm space having some struggle here this morning. And if you haven't heard the news, do me a quick favor. I've got a video coming on the subject right now. Just click the notification bell next to the subscribe button. That will be up here probably by middle of the day, probably in a couple hours after the stream is over. We'll have that video. I know a lot of people are going to be asking about that. I've got it coming. All right. So now out of the drama for a moment, let's get back to the other drama, the NFP event, which is, of course, coming out here in just about 9 minutes. Where am I positioned? What am I watching? Let's do it. All right. So I am personally still, I know I'm getting annoying with this, I'm still in my NAS trade. I've been in this thing for, this is actually turning into, this is like a longer term trade for me that didn't start out that way. In fact, my stop loss was pretty dang tight off the hourly chart. My stop loss did not get hit, came very close, and then just rocketed off of that. So I'm still in this. My goal here for NAS is to try and stay in, but of course jobs numbers are coming out. If you guys are newer to NFP, this is a major announcement in the markets. Labor market is so important to global health. It will give us ideas as to what might happen with inflation. It may give us ideas as to what the Fed may do next. It's a really important piece of information. It comes out in about 7 minutes and 45 seconds. Now, what we are expecting here today in terms of jobs, think about it, guys. If you're newer to fundamentals, think logically about this for a second, and it starts to make sense, okay? Jobs are forecasted. The number of jobs creation is expected to be 169,000 jobs. That is less than the 187,000 that were reported previously. However, the jobs market cool down is what the Fed wants to see, because lots of job creation causes inflation, and inflation is a problem right now. So they want to see a softening in the labor market. They don't want to see a destruction of the labor market. They want to see a softening. And this will be reported. The updated announcement on this will be reported in 7 minutes. And that is why it is so important to markets, because the Fed is watching very closely. Okay, so with that said, USD pairs are likely to see some serious volatility, and with it, of course, the indices, gold, etc. Where are we at pre-news? Let's take a look at the NAS. Again, very bullish. I am staying in this one unless we break structure. Quick update on NAS. If this thing drops, underneath this support level, I'm out. I'll take my profits, which at this point would be like a, let's see, what is it, like a 5 to 1? 4.25 to 1, let's call it. Again, stops are trailed going into NFP. We've updated members inside of the group. There's a couple things I want to also take a look at. Gold. Gold has been very, very strong. Here's the hourly chart update on gold for you today. Again, big resistance overhead, but we've got to mark up our levels, okay? Because here's the thing. Supply. And then, of course, demand or support below. On NFP today, we're going to get something that moves the dollar most likely. If the dollar comes out very weak, gold probably sees a breakout. What would cause that? Weaker jobs numbers, right? Substantially weaker than expected would really drive gold above previous highs and would also likely really help out my NAS position. So my goal here with the gold market, if you're watching gold, this is an hourly chart, is can we break significantly above, which in that case, perhaps the rest of the day could be bullish, in my opinion. Pullback opportunities could be really interesting. And if we see, dollar strength come in, meaning jobs are hotter than expected, which none of us know ahead of time, right? So if you think you know what's going to happen with NFP, it's a shot in the dark, because again, we don't know what the labor statistics market is going to put out, which is what is going to drive the market up or down. Now, pre-news, gold is making a move up. So it'd be interesting to see. My point here is that I'm being reactive with the news. I'm saying, I don't know what's going to happen. And I think it's foolish to go around saying, I know what this is going to do. I know what that's going to do, because we don't, right? No, none of us know with certainty what the market's going to do. But what I do know is that if we see a significant breakout, gold could be really interesting on pullbacks. And if we see a significant breakdown, pullbacks also could be interesting as perhaps gold sellers kind of come back in to this market. But we don't know what's going to happen. I'm saying this is scenario 1, this is scenario 2, and I'm going to watch and see, right? So we've got a lot of charts here to look at, guys. We're going to take a quick look at the Euro USD as well. Let's go see what's going on with that. And what we can see here, Euro trading down off of the highs. Here's your 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart did reject this area of resistance that we had marked. So you can see we basically came up to the upper kind of extremes of this zone here and then sold off and even kind of broke underneath this support, arguably. This market looks like it has momentum to the downside off the higher time frames. It could be really interesting to see now if you drop down to like the hourly chart. We could probably get pretty technical with this and say, well, if dollar strength breaks us through the lows, sellers very well may have a field day looking to sell retests kind of thing. And if you're a bull, same thing, right? Watch for breakouts of consolidation. I've been reporting NFP for, at this point, years. One thing to note is that when you get consolidation, it can be very useful to just mark your charts, right? Mark where decision kind of candles could come in. Decision candles as in something like this or something like this could really get the ball rolling for day traders as well as swing traders. So for example, if we get a break to the upside on the euro, it could be really interesting to see something like this, right? Breakouts, retests, etc. If I take any trades, you guys will get notified directly of them inside of the Discord. There's 700 of you guys. If you're interested in joining our Discord, check it out. What we're going to do here is we've been on fire recently. The NAS trade has just been a monster for me. And I know Frank has been trading like pound yen. He's been selling gold. And we've been on a hot streak recently. So if you'd like to join the Discord, I will say this, we are currently doing a significant discount. Here's how you can get in on the Discord if you've been interested in getting into our group. If you want to see the trades we're taking, if you want to get notifications directly to your phone, click the link that's being dropped in the chat. It will take you to our direct message center where you can connect with someone on our team. We are just about 2 minutes out here, guys, from the news, which will be very, very interesting as well. To see if anything kind of really forms here in terms of NFP. Sometimes you do get NFP events where, it spikes one way and comes right back. So we are just going to react to the numbers, and I'll give you my take as soon as I have the numbers in front of me as well. Who trades SPX in the group? Trayvon, if you're in the VIP group, a lot of us trade indices, big gold crowd, a lot of that stuff. Guys, we're just about a minute and a half here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the dollar index so we can watch the dollar's index reaction as I think, that could be kind of a pretty telling thing as we get closer to the numbers. Again, we've got about a minute and 15 seconds to go. So yeah, I helped you make that Discord in 2018. How did you help me make the Discord? I don't remember. I think I was running solo back then. I had nobody helping me. Now I've got a wonderful group of people. Anyways, we are just about 1 minute out, guys, from the news. Again, don't go anywhere after the news spike. A lot of people just leave right after. The real trading for me is after the news. I always say this, but people, they just love to see the spike and then they move on. But I'm telling you, usually the trading setups come after the news event. So if I take any trades, yeah, we will go from there. We're about 30 seconds out. And we'll see if we get anything of substantial interest here today. Accounts blown incoming. Yes, be very careful on this, guys. A lot of traders are going to try and trade the spike. It is a gambling attraction. Got to be very careful. 10 seconds out, guys. Let's get our breaking news here on NFP. All right, we should see some volatility here. DXY initially making a slight move lower. Here's the 15-minute chart, by the way. This is the 15-minute. No substantial move just yet. Dollar kind of treading lower here. Still going. Look at this. What is this move? This thing looks so bizarre to me right now. It's moving like in slow motion. Am I missing something? Yeah, the dollar index. What the heck was that? Gold is up. NAS is up. Love to see that, man. That trade has probably, let's see, where are we at? Up $6,200 on this trade now. $6,300 on this trade. What a day. Wow. Yeah, NFP must have come out with some cooling numbers. Let's take a look and see what we got. Jobs numbers pending. Forex Factory is not always the fastest with getting the numbers out, but it is coming. If somebody has the numbers, please feel free to share them. Again, NAS making its move, S&P making its move. Gold is up. Look at this, guys. Gold doing the breakout that we just spoke about moments ago. If you're a bull on gold, what a day. Again, this is why we don't try and call what's going to happen before news, because again, it's foolish to do so. People are going to say, oh, it's going to go down, or oh, it's going to go up, and as if they know, right? None of us know what the news is going to be. This is clearly a huge push to the upside. Pullbacks could be interesting, but again, what a day. And again, we got to see 187K, 3.8%. Thank you guys for those numbers. I don't know what's going on with Forex Factory here today. We're like late to the party or something, but again, so interestingly, more jobs created, but unemployment rate ticked up to 3.8%. That's pretty meaningful. Average hourly earnings month over month also went down, meaning people that's actually really interesting. Average hourly earnings month over month didn't go down. It just grew at a lesser pace than what was expected. Unemployment rate came out 3.8%. That is the surprise here. And wow, what a move on that one. Real strong push to the upside there. Justified. Honestly, it's hard to say, but unemployment rate's ticking up to 3.8%. That is a big jump. So I do think that is probably going to get the Fed's attention, and that's why the markets are loving this, right? Very confusing, right? If you're newer to this stuff, you're trading indices, you say, why the heck would this cause the indices to rally? Well, the Fed is on the watch, right? They want to raise rates to squash inflation. But if the job market is cooling, they may not need to do that. And so stocks say, hey, they're not going to raise rates. Business is going to be more profitable, right? It can be a little bit confusing, and people sometimes like to just dismiss the news as noise and meaningless. But it is actually, I said this yesterday, the markets are wicked smart with news. People think like, oh, news does the opposite of sometimes what it prints. Nope. Once you understand fundamentals, It's very, I've almost never seen, it's very, very rare that a piece of news that is really impactful comes out that points bullish or points bearish and the market goes the other way. Usually it goes exactly what actually makes sense, but people don't understand the fundamentals. So yeah, look at this, guys. That NAS trade, this might be one of my top trades this year. I think the top trade I closed for a profit was like 9,000 so far this year. So we're trying 6,260, and that's one trade closed for like 9,000. It was another NAS trade. I've just been trading the NAS pretty heavily this year. My goal here is to actually trail stops. I would like to get my stop loss probably moved up a little bit further here. Let me show you what I'm thinking here. Again, let's do this. Let's zoom in just a little bit off of this. So in terms of NAS, we put in a nice low here. So I may look to trail my stop. I'd like to see how this candle closes. We've got 30 minutes left and I'm not in a rush. I am very comfortable continuing to hold the NAS. We've got a bullish reading on the S&P. I'm sorry, on the NASDAQ here on the EDGEFINDER. So with that confirmation, I am happy to continue holding this trade. This trade has been a monster mover. And look at that. We had some new additions come on here. US oil showing bullish. Dollar yen, CAD yen, NAS100, man. Again, trade what you know, trade what you love, trade what works for you. For me, I love trading the indices and gold. I do trade currencies as well occasionally, mostly USD pairs and mostly yen crosses. But right now, again, trade what's making you money. And for me, it's just been the NASDAQ. This thing has just been a monster, and we have caught move after move in the group on this one. Let's see what else is on the list. Pound Aussie, dollar CAD. No Ivan today, huh? Is Ivan missing? I think he was supposed to come on today. So yeah. Why don't you do scale-ins? You can actually make a lot of money. Well, a lot more money. Well, it just depends. You know, here's the thing. Everybody has their strategies. Some people take partials, some people buy in pieces, they sell in pieces, whatever. I trail stops. It's what I've done for a long time. I've back tested it thoroughly. I've been in this game for like 8 years now. I do what works for me. I think you should do what works for you. If you trade liquidity grabs, if you trade trend lines, if you trade breakouts, if you trade pullbacks, doesn't really matter. It matters what works for you, what you like to do, what makes sense to you, and what you're comfortable doing. Are you someone who needs a higher win rate in order to trade psychologically comfortable? All that stuff is up to you. That is why trading is not a hard science. It's a bit of an art as well as a science. There's a good mix of both. Yeah. NAS was such a beautiful trade. Oh, you're telling me, man. I'm thankful. I'm thankful that we finally caught it. You know, context is key here, though, guys. I've been in a drawdown. This NASDAQ trade has taken me almost all the way out of that drawdown, this single trade. But I had a couple losses trying to buy NAS more than once. So I had a couple losers along the way. But this single trade is making up for all of those losses and more. Yeah, closed NAS buy. Congrats. Good for you. Yeah, really, really a hit. 3.8 jobs created, better than expected. I think you mean 3.8% unemployment, which is worse than expected, but more jobs created. So in that way, Elvis, you're correct. 187. There's more jobs created, but unemployment rate also ticked up. How can both of these be the case? I know that can be a little bit confusing. It's because the participation among the population can change. And so if more people are trying to get jobs or less people are trying to get jobs or more people are, retiring, those things can also sway these numbers. And that's why it can be a little bit confusing at first. But we see basically a net reaction that is very bearish dollar. As again, this may forecast a little bit of the Fed cooling yet again. We had a lot of jobs, we had a lot of labor numbers that came out this week that really pointed towards the Fed is probably going to cool, right? It's probably going to cool the jets, and the market loves it. So my NAS trade obviously loves it as well. If you guys are not sure what software I'm using here, this is our EDGEFINDER. I know a lot of you guys have watched the show for a long time. If you're somebody who does not have a copy of the EDGEFINDER right now, let me just let you know that we are currently running a 35% off sale on our software. we're a software company out of Atlanta, Georgia. We build tools for traders. We allow traders to look at the commitment of traders data, scan key economic figures, projections, seasonal trends, and we have an algorithm here that it basically is where I find all my trading setups. It takes into account things like the commitment of traders, retail sentiment, seasonal data, trends, GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, interest rates. If you want 35% off of our product that we have invested substantial time, money, energy. We have 3 people who work on this behind the scenes in order to build it. We're giving 35% off to celebrate all the new features we've just added. If you'd like access, click this link. It's going to take you to a direct message center where you can chat with someone on my staff who can get you set up with a copy of the tool at a huge discount. So take advantage. Again, one of the big things that we've just added, if you're a gold trader, check this out. This is pretty cool. Gold scanner here. We've really updated this thing substantially. You can actually see we've got a score indicator here. This is the EDGEFINDER score over time relative to the price of gold. So you can see that it was pointing bearish over here, right? This white line is the price of gold. It was very, very correct in August to be bearish on gold. And then the signals started to slow as gold started to reverse. So it probably kept you out of some of the reversal. So, that's the thing. This is by no means a holy grail system, but it is something I use personally every day to find the trade setups. I mean, this is how I found the NAS trade. So again, it for me has been a massive return on investment, even despite the substantial money that we've spent to build the tool over time. Anyways, this NAS trade is just paying for all of the drawdown that I experienced this month, which is crazy. We're up 5,000 on the day between everything, and on this NAS trade, $6,500 in floating profits. Crazy, 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 crazy. I'm losing on NAS100. If you're losing on NAS100, you must be short, which maybe you had a reason to do so, but one of the big reasons that I was long NAS is right here. See this blue text? This blue text is telling us that institutional money bought NASDAQ on a net by net basis in the most recent filing. If you don't know the COT data, it is a key piece of information, and we've built a scanner to take a closer look at commitment of traders data at any time. So what you're looking at, this is the commitment of traders data, and it shows us where institutional money is flowing. Are they buying an asset? Are they shorting an asset? Are they selling an asset? Are they picking up positions? The way you can find out all of that information is just head over to the Smart Money Tracker page, then look at the NASDAQ, for example. And this blue text is pointing out that, take a look at this. They had an increase in long contracts on the futures market, but also notably a decrease in short contracts. So again, this is a very net bullish reading on the NASDAQ. It's also on the top setups scanner. So if we take a look at the top setup scanner, this is where I find a lot of the trade ideas that I'm taking. NAS is bullish, right? So I would not be shorting it. I am still staying long and still plan to be long until I get trailed out of my trade. Okay. Talk about EURUSD. We already did. If you want EURUSD, just back up on the stream. GJ getting destroyed. What's going on with pound yen? Pound yen, let's pull it up. Pound yen taking a beating here today. Interestingly, is it the pound pairs, guys? Pound pairs, what's going on with them? Nope, it's not the pound pairs, it's the yen. JXY, what's going on? Let's take a look at the yen, guys. JXY. JXY shooting up on the hourly chart. What just happened? Did NFP really drive the yen that strong? USD JPY, I would imagine it's probably straight down right now. Yeah, look at this. Dollar yen. Oh my goodness, 51 pips to the downside here. NFP really impacted the yen, which is actually quite intriguing. The dollar index, again, still taking a beating here, but recovering just a bit. What's your take profit on NAS? I'm trailing stops, Vidic. I'm trailing stops. I have been inside of the group. I'll show you. This is where I'm at. Still trailing stops. If you want these alerts, join the Discord. We dropped a link earlier, but we'll drop it one more time. If you want to join and get access to the trade alerts that I'm sharing as well as Frank, join us. We have been on fire recently. If you want to see all the trades that we're taking and why we're taking them, more importantly, come join, come learn something. I'm telling you, if you're just out there losing, you don't know what you're doing in the markets, please stop. You're just going to lose money. If you're trading without strategies, if you don't know what you're doing, if you haven't invested any time in learning this stuff, you are going to continue to donate money to the markets. So instead, take a small amount of money, message us right now, and someone on our staff will get you set up with a significantly discounted membership within our group. You can learn. We have coaching webinars that we're doing. You can join our chat rooms. You can see the trades we're taking, but more importantly, why we're taking them. Come join us. I'm telling you, it is worth the investment. So yeah, haven't seen Kenzo or Ivan here today. I thought we had some guests coming on today, but I think you guys are stuck with me. Ivan can't make it. Okay, sorry. I might have missed your message earlier, Chandler. Thank you for that update. And Kenzo, I imagine, is probably coming on in 2 minutes or so. Okay, yeah, we'll have Kenzo join us in just a moment. Again, NAS100 still bullish. Bitcoin, very bullish. Interesting that we're getting that. COT data must have came out really strong for Bitcoin, which is noticeably interesting. They had some news that came out this week just after COT showed institutional buying. That's really, really quite interesting. Euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar, all bearish on the EDGEFINDER. So again, we already talked about euro dollar. Tried to break out of this, seeing some rejection here now. This rejection is pretty substantial. And in fact, if this candle, watch how this candle closes, guys. If the candle closes like this, that's sketchy, right? Because that could just mean decline, right? You probably want to see this thing close with conviction. If you're a bull, you want to see this thing break out. If it doesn't break out, we could just stay ranging, or perhaps even worse, start to break lower. Talk about my forex funds. Don't worry, it's coming. I've got a video filmed. It is in the editing lab, and it will be up for you guys on the channel. If you guys want to know about what's going on in the prop firm space, there's some huge news. I've got it coming for you. Take 1 second real quick, hit the notification bell next to subscribe button. So that way, when that video drops, you guys will be alerted and you can see it for yourself. It is a huge announcement that is coming out today on my channel. So please consider hitting that subscribe button if you're new, and also hitting the notification bell to get notified when that video drops later. It's a huge video. Is NAS still bullish, or is it just a pullback? I mean, I've just been trailing stops. My goal is to trail stops further, but I'd like to see what I'm waiting on. You might say, well, why haven't you trailed stops? I am waiting, guys, for this candle close. I'd like to see this candle close bullish, in which case I'd like to trail that stop a little tighter and see if this thing wants to keep running, or from there, if it reverses, I'll take profits and be out before the weekend. I really don't mind either ways. This trade has been a monster, and I'm just trying to be patient with it. So yeah. So yes, we will be doing that. Guys, we're going to now go to Kenzo here. He's going to come in and join us on the stream to go over some trade setups and analysis of this NFP event that just came out. But before we do, we're just going to take a very quick break to thank our sponsors here on the stream. If you guys would like to see Kenzo and I go through some stuff, just stick around. We'll be right back after this quick break. Take just a minute. Be right back.
Attention A1 Trading Show fans, if you're interested in getting free access to the EDGEFINDER or our premium trade alerts, listen up. For a limited time, our show's partnered broker 8cap is giving out free access to our products when you sign up for a new trading account with them. If you already have a broker, you may want to consider switching to 8cap because of their low trading costs, a wide range of trading assets, and their amazing customer support. If you'd like to get access to our software and Discord server for free, click the link being dropped in the chat right now and ask one of our team members for more information. Don't miss your chance for free products and an award-winning broker. Now back to the A1 Trading Show.
All right, guys, and we are back with Kenzo for some analysis here. Hey, Kenzo, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I hope everything's fine.
Doing great myself as well. So thank you for joining back on the show. If you guys have not seen Kenzo on the show before, he comes on each Friday to give us a little bit of I think we should really call these components of the stream fundamental Fridays, because Kenzo and I, we usually get into just kind of what's going on, what's driving the markets around. And Kenzo, what is your reaction here to NFP? Of course, we had some interesting data come out. What's your reaction to all of it?
Yeah, actually, NFP is a bit interesting today. The actually unemployment rate, it's actually higher, which means it's actually bad. So that's why we see the market actually going up. So yeah, I think that is a good thing, because on our markets, if you check gold, NASDAQ, USD, they were all pushing to the upside. And that is a good sign, especially when we still worried about the inflation going up and stuff like that. So I'm expecting that they might pause the rate, even if maybe they don't really pause, but I think maybe there might be the last increase of the rise of the interest rates, because it seems like things are getting back to normal. The market is actually slowing down, which is a good thing for inflation, actually.
Yeah, no, it's it's a great thing, and I think, Kenzo, I was explaining this a little bit earlier on the stream. Sometimes people are a little bit confused by the idea that slowing in the jobs world and the labor department can cause the stock market to rise, because people would think, innately, before they really understand fundamentals, they'd be like, that sounds terrible for stocks and for indices, but it's like you're saying, the key thing here is that a slowing labor market, it's not a declining labor market, it's a slowing labor market, and that slowing in the labor world will be less inflationary, right? More people getting jobs means more people bidding for houses, more people renting apartments, more people buying things, going on vacations. All of that is inflationary. It causes prices to rise, and that is something the Fed is very, very
Exactly.
much against. So yeah, you explained that really well. Kenzo, first of all, I want to ask you, of course, about your new chart color here. I know you're a dark chart guy like myself. So what is the white charts here that you've got going on?
Just for a change, man. I actually used a dark theme for quite some time, so now I just want to see things differently. There's nothing much, but I just want to see something different. But it's just the same thing. Yeah, it's just a smaller change, actually.
Okay, fair enough. Kenzo, it's like the same color as me. It's like super white.
Oh, you did? Oh, you changed also?
No. I just mean like my skin color is like almost that white. I need to get
Oh,
out in the sun a little bit more.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
yeah,
was
I
gonna
see
say.
that. I see that.
So you've got NASDAQ, Kenzo. What else are you watching? You've got a setup here. Is this a trade that you are in yourself, or is this something that you're looking? Because you've got of course, the long position set up here on TradingView.
No, on this one actually is the signal that we sent today, but we have a swing trade actually coming from this support area. I think last Friday we were around this area, if you still remember, and we talked about the market bouncing back. And actually the market seriously did that. Actually, we have a very nice long trade. Also on Euro USD, because we knew, not like we knew, but the structure showed us that the market will be bouncing back. If you go on Euro USD, GBP USD, we also have some long positions from that area, since the market was coming from our support area. But anyways, mostly I focus on on Nasdaq. Actually, I have position on Nasdaq, not actually on US 30s and GBP USD and Euro. But I think all these markets, they are trying to push the upside, because USD is losing that steam, which is good for now, which is actually good. So the market will be actually trying to continue. Any pair against the dollar might be gaining that momentum for now.
Sure. Yeah, no, that would make sense with the news that we had this morning. Also, Kenzo, that's really cool to see that you're in that NAS trade. It sounds like we're in like the exact same trade. I caught it right around that time. I barely stayed in it. I don't know if you heard me talking about this earlier, but I barely stayed in the NAS trade. And our trades look identical. Like, Chandler, if you flip screens over, look at this. I have like the same trade, same spot, same markups. So and Kenzo, I was so close to getting
Yeah,
stopped
I
out of
see.
like that was it was
No,
within
I
like, yeah.
actually I think I've realized that most of your analysis is quite similar to mine. I don't know if maybe it's because we follow the trends or something like that, but mostly 80% of the time it's actually quite the same. So when you follow the trend, it's easy just to continue scaling up your trade. So even on gold, we're just continuing buying, as is something that was happening also since last week. So actually, anything against the dollar now, it seems to be trying to cover some momentum, which is good. The news are getting slower now. That is actually good. Actually, since the whole week, if you did check during the week, things were not really good on the dollar side. PMIs, GDP, and I think also unemployment claims,
Jolts.
also, or jobless
Yeah.
claims, they were not
Mhm.
actually that great. So, which is good actually.
Yeah, no, it was a week of data that really, like you just pointed out, was not great for the dollar. I'm, Kenzo, that's the thing, is sometimes it's just best to keep it really simple. Let's look at what came out for the dollar this week. We had JOLTS job openings, which showed some slowing there. Then we had unemployment claims, which kind of went against it. But as you mentioned, also you had PMI. You have several different. I'm sorry, PCE, core PCE came out, showing some unchanged there, a little bit of stubbornness there. But now with the NFP kind of sealing the deal, with unemployment percentage ticking up, it's been a not great week for the U.S. dollar, and I think right now I'll continue to stay long indices. And in the short term, it does look like pretty much anything against the dollar is catching a little bit of a push to the upside, right? Euro USD will be very interesting to see actually on this candle, though. To that point, though, I mentioned this, marked our zones here just before NFP. There's about 5 minutes left to this candle. It'll be interesting to see, guys, if you're watching euro, if you're watching pound, how these candles close. Because again, the news is out. We had the pop, but what you really want to see, if you're a dollar bear, if you're trying to trade euro to the upside, or you're trying to trade gold to the upside, you want to see these candles probably close with some strength, because that's going to signal to other people, hey, this thing is strong, right? Like if it closes like this, right? If we see that close, all the other people who are watching this are going to say, wow, that's a strong breakout. Any pullback signs are going to be supported likely, and there could be some further upside. What you don't want to see here in the last few minutes is this thing just kind of get crushed back underneath resistance. So that's at least what I'm paying attention to here, Kenzo, as we watch the kind of end of this hourly candle.
Yeah, but on that Euro USD, if maybe you go on a bigger time frame on my side, I think it's a very nice uptrend. Maybe on a smaller time frame you can't see that, but on a bigger time frame, I think the market will still actually continue pushing to the upside. You can see these areas where the market is respected. So this playground here, the market might just go up and down, but at the end of the day, we might see the market repeating the same thing that happened here. Also, here you can see that the market is just doing the same thing, but it might take time because the market won't just make things obvious. So it will just consolidate a little bit before we see a nice push.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I mean, that euro, and it's like if you just, as you pointed out there, Kenzo, catching one of those swings is huge, especially if you're patient and willing to hold on to winners. If this market does start to rally for the euro, and hits that longer term area of support, kind of bounces off it and keeps going, there's a lot of profit potential there. Not necessarily dollars, because it just depends on your account size and that sort of thing. But in terms of risk to reward, there's some beautiful opportunities there if this dollar continues to kind of weaken. So will be very, very interesting to see play out. Kenzo, I want to thank you for coming on the show. If you guys do not already follow Kenzo, we bring him on every week. He does a phenomenal job on his own channel, which is of course Extra Hot Forex here on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to Kenzo, please do that right now. We've got a link in the chat here. Click this link. Sorry, that was right here. Go sub to Kenzo. Check him out on YouTube. And Kenzo, as always, thank you for coming on the show, man. And we will see you back next week.
Thank you very much, man.
All right. Yes, good to have Kenzo on. As always, guys, again, Kenzo, one of my favorite guests to bring on the show. And again, he, as he pointed out, we have some similarities in the way we trade, and we both do pay attention to the fundamentals. And speaking of what we were just talking about, look at this euro, guys. Short term, at least for now, I would generally agree that, the euro strength overall this year has been really, really good. There may be some uptrends to take advantage of. In the short term, oh my goodness, this thing is getting beat up. So yeah, we're going to have to watch this one. I wouldn't say beaten up. I'm sorry. I take that back. We're still up on the candle 23 pips in an hour. That's pretty good, but it's not the 50 plus pips, right? 50, well, just about 49, just about 50 pips here that we were at. So we've given back a lot of those gains, but again, we're only a minute and a half out from the end of the candle, and this thing is fighting for life to try and get back above. Look at this candle close. This is crazy. Dollar yen. Just getting smoked here today. Let's take a look at the pound USD. Pound USD trying for the same thing, guys, trying to break out. Really, really interesting stuff there. Did you hear about my forex funds? Yes, I have a video coming out. Stick around. I mentioned this earlier. Prop firms have a major news announcement here today. If you have not heard, we will have a video on the channel. It is in the editor's lab, so it's coming. I know it's heavily requested. People have been blowing me up about it, so it's coming. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Pound USD, again, breaking out. Nice little push and closing outside of this. It does look like it will. Euro is very close. Look at this. Euro is just shy of this. If this closes outside, right? What I'd say is short term, bulls are probably going to try and take a run for it. That would be my take on this. If this thing closes, I would say there's a good chance that we see this thing kind of close higher towards the end of the day. How's that NAS trade doing? NAS is a beast. It is time to trail stops, guys. I'm going to do it right now. We are trailing stops further into profit, guys. If you're inside of the group, I'm trailing my stop loss further into profit here as we speak. We're at 15,461. This trade is just a monster, man. All right, let me make sure I update this. 461. And there it is. The candle closed. How did that euro close? Let's just flip over just for a split second. Euro did close slightly above. Look at that. Bulls may try and pull back by it here. That's going to be my opinion. You might have big break attempt there if you're watching euro. What I'm doing now, guys, is give me just a moment. I am currently updating members inside of our Discord channel about my NAS trade. I am trailing a stop further into profit. At this point, this trade is floating $6,548. Just crazy how much this thing has gone. And I'm going to go ahead and trail stops on here. There we go. Stops trailed. And I am also trailing stops here. This is crazy. Sorry, let me also take a picture of this for the group as well. Trailing yet again on this thing, man. Is this the fourth time I've trailed a stop on NASDAQ? Whoops. So I'm basically just going to screenshot this so that we can put it in the group. Is NAS100. All right. Just get this pushed out to members here. Give me one moment to do that. So, okay. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to update members on this. So let's do this. NAS100 spikes again on NFP news. Unemployment rate percentage ticked up to 3.8%, which will likely get the Federal Reserve's attention and may cause them to be less hawkish. Stocks' profit margins may be less impacted now by rising interest rates, causing a rally in equities. Okay, There's a little bit of the explanation. Let's read that back, guys, together. So I'm updating members inside of the group. I just trailed stops. Let's just send this out. So members, if you're inside of the VIP, just check the Swing Trades channel if you would like to take a look at this, if you want to look closer at my analysis here. But NAS100 spikes again on NFP news. Unemployment rate percentage ticked up to 3.8, which will likely get the Federal Reserve's attention and may cause them to be less hawkish. Stocks profit margins may be less impacted. Of course, company profit margins may be less impacted now by rising interest rates, which is currently causing a rally in equities. Okay, that's the breakdown, at least my take on what we're seeing here today. And I will be stopped out of this trade if this thing stopped out for a profit if this thing breaks support here looking left. So I'm continuing to manage this trade. It has been now a full week since I took this trade, which is rare for me to hold a trade that long. But this one has just been a monster winner compared to the risk reward. I think, what is this? Floating currently a 5.6 risk to reward. Quite the runner. Again, still getting that NAS100 bullish reading, and that's keeping me extra willing to stay in this trade. If you guys are long-term fans of the channel, remember, we are doing our 35% off sale off of the EDGEFINDER. And also, by the way, if you message us right now, you can also join the Discord for 35% off. If you ask about it, just direct message us. Someone on our team will set you up with that while we are live here. We have a team of real people in the office who can help you out with getting a membership or getting access to our software. This is how I find my trade setups. We're a software company in Atlanta, Georgia. We build tools for traders, and our algorithm helps spot opportunities in the markets. And that is how, of course, I personally find all the trades that I take. So if you're not already using the EDGEFINDER and you would like a copy, message us. It is, again, something that we've worked on for quite some time. It has been a phenomenal response from the community and a lot of great feedback from the community of people who are using it. I know a lot of people in the audience right now are using the EDGEFINDER themselves. A big thank you to you guys. We have, over the last year and a half of developing this software, we've had just a phenomenal support base from our following here on YouTube. We've collected so much feedback and so many positive and constructive criticisms along the way to improve our software. And, we do really appreciate that. We wouldn't have been able to build the software into what it is without the help of our community kind of giving feedback. A lot of people who have supported our project by purchasing a copy, all those funds, a massive component of the money that has come in for selling the product goes right back into developing it further and supporting our team that does so. So if you'd like a copy, remember, we just added a bunch of new features. The COT data just got reworked and is now incredibly good. The scanner has just gotten an upgrade. So yeah, if you want access to a copy of this, it is 35% off right now. And yeah, I can vouch for the EDGEFINDER. It's an ace. David, thank you very much. Anybody in the audience who is using the EDGEFINDER, shout out to you. Thank you very much for your support, for your feedback, and for all the great support. So yeah, again, we are coming off all this NFP news numbers. 3.8% caused a serious stir in the markets, really helped the equities. Dollar index took a little bit of a tumble, but recovering pretty nicely despite that. You did get the, dollar bulls are going to point to, well, you did also get some good jobs numbers, more jobs created than expected. So, yeah. How many contracts did you buy on NAS? I didn't buy contracts. I trade the ETF variation. So QQQ on the stock market is what I personally trade. I personally don't prefer futures. I just like trading the ETF. So, like I said, so I bought 350 shares of QQQ NASDAQ. So it is just the NASDAQ ETF. But yeah, remember guys, last thing I will say, remember, we are doing our 35% off sale. If you would like access to the software at that massive discount that we are doing, please message us right now. We are ending that very soon. So if you've been thinking about getting a membership with us, if you've been thinking about getting access to our software, that sale is ending. We are offering that up. If you would like to take advantage of those discounted prices before they go back to usual, please message us right here using this link. we will see you guys back on the next stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a wonderful weekend, and see you guys back next week. Remember, the video for My Forex Funds is coming out this afternoon, so make sure your post notifications are turned on. See you guys next time. See you later.
And that concludes today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to keep you up to date with the latest market coverage through our daily videos and articles. If you like our content, make sure to subscribe for more. You can get funded today up to $200K with FX2 funding. Use our code A1Trading15 for a special discount. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.